Hi friends, myself Dr. Sachin Mudle, Assistant Professor in Geography from Yashwantrao Chavan College, Islampur District, Sangli, Maharashtra. Here, the Principal of APA College of Arts and Culture, Palni, Dr. Prabhakar, Coordinator of this webinar, Dr. Uma and Dr. Kokila, and the entire team of APA College of Arts and Culture, Palni, and you, all the participants of these 3 days activity program. Friends, we all aware about today's situation. This is a very panic situation for all of us. Locking down ourselves from more than 2 months is never easy. But still, we are doing a good job. Please carry on, guys, not only for yourselves, but for our nation too. So, friends, today here we going to discuss about the challenges of education system during the pandemic days. Before going to express my views on this said topic, I confess one thing that I'm not an educational expertise to talk on such topic. I'm a teacher, and as a teacher and also as a layman, I have some observations and set my views on this topic on the basis of this observation only. So I'm glad that the organizers of this webinar and the entire team of APA College give me an opportunity to express my views on the said topic. Here, mostly I'm talking about the school education, that is secondary education. And I think that is the core of our education system. There are two more resource persons, that is Dr. Bhuvneshwari and Dr. Ravi. And I think they talk more about the impact of higher education during these pandemic days. So I mostly covered area of secondary education in that manner. As I remember, in the last week of March, almost all the state governments in the country were shutting down the schools and colleges. Initially, this shutdown looked like a temporary, but now there is no certainty when they will reopen. Therefore, I felt that this is a very crucial time for our educational system. As we all know, and I said before that, this is a very panic situation due to outbreak of COVID-19. And this outbreak will not only cause of socio-economic consequences in our country, but also impact on the continuity of learning. More than, I think, 285 million young learners. I look forward this issue in the socio-economic way. When I thinking about that issue, I have some questions in my mind, and henceforth I discuss these questions in my this topic or this my entire lecture. The first question is the situation causes losses of learning? I'm talking about losses of learning. Look, today we don't know when the next academic year starts. This uncertainty causes losses of learning. The delay in the delay in the start of academic year completely disrupts the lives of many children, their parents and teachers also. A lot can be done to at least reduce the impact through virtual learning strategies. But we keep in mind that we need to avoid those things which have larger negative effect on poor children's learning. Move to online learning strategies is very challenging for students and parents too. And as a teacher, we also have to take lot of efforts to match up with all the phenomena. We try to minimize the losses of learning in this lockdown situation also. But after the starts of schools and colleges, we should do restless performance to avoid these losses. Personally, I still believe the classroom teaching is most effective method in the manner of understanding of every individual student. And I think going to school or colleges is not only about learning to specific subject, but also about social relationship and peer-to-peer interaction. It is about learning to be a citizen and developing social skill. That is why it is important to stay connected with the schools and colleges by any means necessary. For all students, this is also a time to develop socio-emotional skills and learn more about how to contribute to society as a citizen. All these things could not covered in homeschooling, and this is a big loss of learning, I think. And to avoid these losses in future days is the challenge for our education system. My second question is, can e-learning remedies are comprehensive? Look, the structure of schooling and learning, including a teaching and assessment methodologies, was the first to affected by these schools and colleges and university closures. Afterward, we all know e-learning became a hope during this global pandemic of COVID-19. Yes, of course, e-learning is the best way in this situation, and it transformed our centuries old chalk and talk teaching model. And with these virtual learning methodologies, students also can continue to learn and evolve during this global pandemic. But, a big but, in the country like India, can these e-learning methodologies are comprehensive? Not only in India, but in some developed countries also, these methodologies cannot be comprehensive. When we're talking about the India, only a handful of private institutes could handful private institutes could adopt online teaching methods. On the other hand, their low income private and government schools counterparts have completely shut down for not having access to e-learning remedies. So, e-learning is not a comprehensive measure, and to make it a comprehensive during this situation is the biggest challenge for our education system. Friends, my third question is in my mind that is this pandemic increase our learning poverty? Look, first of all, understand what is the learning poverty. According to the World Bank, learning poverty is the percentage of 10-year-old children who cannot read and understand a simple story. And do you know the learning poverty indicator of India? That is 55%. Means there are 55% children who cannot read and understand at the age of 10. Can you imagine? More heart-aching thing is that there are 53% among them from low and middle income. And this is the figure before the outbreak of COVID-19 started. And let you know, this pandemic has the potential to worsen these outcomes even more if we do not act fast. So, minimizing the learning poverty before and after this pandemic is also a big challenge for our education system. My next question is, will this situation expose financial and resource disparities of our schools and individual students? Yes, it will. It will expose. Financial and resource disparities between schools, colleges, and individual students also exposed during this pandemic situation. The school closing due to coronavirus concerns have turned a spotlight on those problems and how they contribute to educational and income inequality in the nation. It is so horrible. I will give you one example. There is one incident happened on Tuesday, 2nd of June, in Malappuram, Kerala. Uh, I'm not talking about the elephant. There is a girl, would be a 10th class girl, Devika, a very bright student from a poor scheduled caste family, commits suicide. Why? Because she was not being able to attend the online class. The family living in a small house, TV in the house is not working. They does not have a smartphone, no internet. The girl goes into a depression and burn herself. And we don't know how many Devika is there. So definitely this pandemic situation expose our socio-economic disparities as well. In future, minimizing these disparities is a challenge for our education system. Again, a question is raised that there will be any increase in the dropout rate. Friends, we have to maintain the engagement of school students. It is very critical, but we have to manage because the dropout rate is already very high in our country. And a long period of disengagement of students can result in a further increase this dropout rate. So we need to communicate, interact with our students by any means and support our students, engage them in many activities. The role of parents and family is also important in this task also. The next question is very important and it creates pressure on our educational system. That is there further increase in employment rate? Sorry, unemployment rate? The bigger concern, however, on everybody's mind is the effect of the pandemic on the employment rate. Recent graduates in IITs and many institutions in India are fearing withdrawal of job offers from corporates because of the current situation. The Center for Monitoring Indian Economies estimates on unemployment shoot up from 8.4% in mid-March to 23% in early April, and the urban employment raised to 30.9, and the further increase in unemployment rate is the biggest threat. Minimizing this rate is the biggest challenge in front of policymakers. And as I said, the pressure will increase on education system also. My next question is little bit different. It has a social connectivity. What about the midday meal? I think everyone know about the midday meal. In many part of the India, school feeding program provide children with their most nutritious meal of the day. This program is called midday meal. This is essential for the cognitive development and well-being. This was very beneficial for the children from many needy and poor families. Sometimes the parents from such families are sending their children to school as they get nutrition meal at least once in a day. The midday meal was a big support for many such families. But now that the schools are closed, the question of nutritious meals for such children has also become important. As a part of a social consciousness, feeding of these children is also a big challenge. So friends, finally, the mission of all education system is the same. I'm talking about the secondary schooling education. But eventually, the mission of the all education system is the same. And all the questions raised here become challenges for our education system. It is to overcome the learning crisis we already living and respond to the pandemic we all are facing. The challenges today is to reduce as much as possible the negative impact of this pandemic will have on learning and schooling, and build on the this experience to get back on a path of faster improvement in learning. As education system cope, cope with the crisis, cope this crisis, we must also be thinking of how can recover stronger with a renewed sense of responsibility and with a better understanding and sense of urgency of the need to close the gap in opportunities and assuring that all children have the same chances for a quality education. Thank you guys. Thanks for your patience listening. Be safe, be healthy. Thank you very much.